Mustaches. What is it about these little guys that's made them so incredibly popular over the last few years? When I was a kid growing up, my dad always sported a killer mustache. I can remember he realised he was about 5 years out of fashion the day that he decided to shave it off, and I was at school. I came home and I literally did not recognise him. So in his case, the moustache really did make the man. It came full circle when somebody gave me a moustache pacifier for my newborn baby, and I realised how incredibly cute a moustache could look on pretty much anyone. The theme of today's party, it's all about moustaches. Mustache has to be one of my favourite themes to throw a party for. I think it's timeless and it's classic. I think everybody looks super cute with a little mustache prop. And not only are guests going to love eating all of these delicious sweets, they're going to be able to get interactive with them. Black craft paper is going to be one of the things that you're going to use most here, but there's not too many different colours and you don't have to be a master decorator to bring together the different food elements that I'm going to be showing you in today's party. You will never get better photos out of a party than you'll get out of a mustache themed party. As an added bonus, if you're thinking about growing a stache, this is a great opportunity to decide twirly, bushy, really you can try them all on. A DIY element for today's party is, in my opinion, the most important aspect because this is what makes your party really interactive and really fun. We're going to be making some DIY photo props using just a little bit of thick black craft paper. I printed out some pictures off the internet and just decided on not only mustaches, but also found some really fun glasses, some things like a monocle, and some really fun sort of shaped hats that I thought teamed with the old school feel of a mustache. Trace around those images on a piece of black craft paper, cut them out and attach them to some bamboo skewers using just a little bit of tape. I love this because it allows everybody to get really involved with the party and it makes those photos completely unique to your event. As a bit of a twist on our photo props, you can also take some of those cut out mustaches and add them to some stripy straws. I always love a stripy straw because it gives you that barbershop kind of feeling, and for me, barbershops and mustaches for some reason seem to go hand in hand. I've got a plain mason jar that I've just filled with a little bit of milk because a milk moustache once again gives a nod to the party's theme, and I've got some oatmeal raisin cookies. Of course you can choose any flavour cookie you like, but you want to make sure it's a nice soft cookie because we're going to take our straw and we're going to push it straight through the cookie, and then we're going to add that directly on top of our mason jar. You've got there the ultimate milk moustache, and when everybody takes a drink, there's another photo opportunity. When I was deciding what flavour elements I wanted to incorporate in my mustache desserts, I wanted to give a nod to the things that remind me of mustaches. So for me, that's barbershops, it's old school soda shops and milkshake parlours and those places where you'd really gather with friends to enjoy sweet treats. Because of that, I decided to go with a malted vanilla milkshake cake. My other elements are going to steer more towards chocolate, so I wanted to have that vanilla-y aspect to break it up a little bit, and the malted milkshake feel gives that nod to the old school milkshake parlour. To decorate my cake, I coated it just in plain white buttercream, and then I've popped some of my buttercream frosting into a piping bag and paired it with just a round open tip piping tip. To decorate, all I'm going to do is place a small circle or a dollop of that buttercream frosting. It's going to look really nice and neat, and then I'm going to mess it up by kind of dragging that tip back through the frosting and smoothing down the side a little bit. You want to line those up in rows all the way down your cake and keep them as neat as you possibly can. And once that cake's all covered, you're going to have a beautiful scalloped buttercream frosting effect that's really not too hard to achieve. A couple of decorative straws and some little mustaches all linked together on the top makes a perfect bunting, but you could also switch that up and add the birthday girl or boy's name on there or a special message. I also added just a little bow tie to the front because I sort of thought it completed a bit of a tuxedo look, and I really liked the way that it added that little bit of fun factor to the front of the cake. Because I think you can never have too much chocolate at one of my parties, I've used a batch of my favourite chocolate fudge brownie mix. I baked a big sheet of brownies and then I coated it with some delicious chocolate ganache and sprinkled it with some long brown sprinkles. I took a mustache cookie cutter and just cut mustache shapes out of my brownies and lined them up on a tray. Not only are these delicious, but if you want to get creative with them, there's no reason why you can't use those as a little bit of a delicious photo prop along the way. I baked some chocolate Tuxedo cupcakes. So these are a really rich fudgy chocolate cake and paired them with just some straight vanilla buttercream. I piped the buttercream on in a beautiful round swirl and then just added a tiny little pick, which is basically a toothpick with another little cardboard cutout moustache. Pop that straight into the top and you've got some really simple and really delicious cupcakes. So we've got our light fluffy chocolate cupcakes, we've got our rich decadent chocolate brownies, and we've got our vanilla malted milkshake cake, which really rounds out the flavour palette for the desserts for today's party. With all of our delicious sweet treats completely sorted, it's time to style our party up. This is where you can really make this party completely personal. My main style element today is my photo wall, and I love this idea because this is where you can really personalize the party, either for the person that you're throwing it for or to represent your family, friends, people, or animals that you love. You can even throw in some of your favorite artworks and some fun mustache puns. The one thing that I love about photo walls is it's really easy to go somewhere like a thrift store and pick up some inexpensive, kind of mismatched frames. You can spray paint them or you can find them in black already, but I love the idea of thrift store frames because they're varying levels of age, size, shape, and you can find some really fun sort of antique-y looking frames without having to spend too much money. When you're looking for the candy jars that you want to style your mustache party with, try to go for really masculine sizes and shapes. Things like big mason jars, heavy base jars, or square gives you that really nice masculine feel that kind of matches with the mustache theme. I always like to elevate the back row of my candy jars, and today I've also elevated my main cake element. This is so that I can bring the photo wall and the table together and there's not a gap in between the two. They sort of just flow down nicely together. With the elevation, I got some boxes and spray painted them black, and then I got a nice blue one in the center because I want to make sure that I'm definitely adding in that pop of color wherever possible. Now that all of the elements are set for your mustache party, all you need to do is sit back and relax and wait for your guests to start arriving. Make sure you've got a camera on hand because you're going to get some fantastic photos from this one.